Welcome to the first episode of our brand new City Skylines 2 series. I'm Leviathan Blues, and today we're going to be starting fresh in the area of Kerman. Normal mode, using the Washington DC map by Ancient Swan. No natural disasters. We're going to have everything unlocked, all money, and unlocked all map tiles. Take a quick spin around the map here, take in the natural features. The map is pretty flat, so we'd have to add in some of our own elevation to make things more interesting. First steps, going to be tearing out the existing infrastructure so we can lay out a proper city blueprint. We'll be planning out major zones, setting up key roads, and laying down some temporary infrastructure to get things running. This is going to be a long-term city, so we need to get the foundation right. Let's jump in and start shaping things up. Now that we've cleared out the old infrastructure, it's time to take a closer look at the land. Throughout history, towns often were founded around natural resources and industry, so I want to consider that historical context when deciding where to place residential areas. Before we get zoning, let's designate where our industries will go. First, let's check land fertility and decide where farms will go. Using the district tool, I'll mark out the best farmland. Next, let's look at our ore deposits. This area seems like a good candidate. Plenty of resources. Now for oil. At first I was considering keeping the oil industry clustered together with ore, but I may spread it out later to help balance traffic and job distribution. With our resource zones designated, the next step is planning our cargo transportation. First, we need to establish a location for a harbor. There's a natural inlet here that looks perfect, something inspired by the New York harbor. I'll lay out a rough design and clear out some trees to avoid clutter in the water. The in-game cargo harbor comes with a direct rail access, but that doesn't quite match how the real-world New York, New Jersey harbor operates. Instead, I'll separate the cargo terminal from the main depot for a better reflect real-life logistics. I'm also using custom quay walls from the Road Builder mod to shape the shoreline and create more realistic harbor environment. Now let's figure out where the rail terminals will be. Historically, rail networks were developed before road systems, so I want to design around that concept. I'll be using Tygon's assets to help set up a realistic rail network. With industry and transportation mapped out, let's start plotting some key areas. Place a small town here, industrial district over here, and the harbor along this section. The main city center will go here, with a midtown and a suburb. After rethinking the oil industry, I've decided not to cluster them all in one place. Instead, I'll relocate part of it over here and replace the cargo terminal from its original spot. This should help distribute those jobs and keep traffic flowing. Now that we have a rough idea of our zones, let's lay out some passenger rail stations. One in the city center, another in the suburb. A stop near the oil fields, another down by the southern small town. I'll also add another small town to the north and a secondary city nearby. To get a better feel for the rail network, I'll be laying down a temporary rail system to visualize the connection. I'll also place a rail terminal, depot, passenger harbor, and 2 cargo harbors to complete the logistics. Alright, that gives us a solid foundation. I'll do some fine tuning off camera and come back with a finalized blueprint for the city. Okie dokie, we've laid the groundwork for our city. Let's take a final tour before wrapping up this episode. This is just the blueprint phase, but we've got a solid foundation to build on. Down south we have our first medium-sized town. Moving up here's our second city. This area will develop into a major population center, complete with suburban expansions spreading outward. This is our oil district, strategically placed to keep heavy industry away from the residential areas. Nearby we have a general industry that will support manufacturing. To the north we got a small town tucked away near the forestry section. This will be quieter, more rural region. Here's the heart of our city, our main downtown, where we'll see high density development with skyscrapers, commercial districts, and transit networks. Over here is the harbor. I've placed some key walls to define the shoreline. Continue refining the waterfront as we develop the city. Next up is the cargo station depot. I've added some decorative rail elements to give it a more realistic feel. This will be a major logistics hub, keeping goods flowing effortlessly across the city. Near the farms, I'll have another medium-sized town with its own industrial area. This will help balance job distribution and create natural connection between the agricultural and urban zones. That's full layout so far. We've mapped out our key areas, planned industries, and set up a rough transit network. Next time we'll start gridding out our first town and getting essential services in place. If you enjoyed the video, be sure to like, subscribe, and leave a comment with your thoughts. There's plenty more to come as we bring this city to life. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.